Good evening. Tonight is October the 9th, and the one thing that this month of October is known for is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I've been known to give donations to family and friends when they do their walks for breast cancer victims. But in retrospect, I don't think the term victim is accurate. In fact, one of the things that I noticed first about cancer survivors are just how courageous they are. They embrace life like no other. They are usually happy people, at least the ones that I know. Breast cancer has affected my family directly. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer back in the early 90s and lived until 2016, and her passing was not due to the reoccurrence of breast cancer. But as I said, breast cancer survivors are courageous, but they're also beautiful. Courageous and beautiful is how I describe my cousin Barbara. I'm sure you'll think the same thing when you see her. This is her story.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Garrett Moffitt. I am a two-time breast cancer survivor. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so I thought it would be an appropriate time to share a bit of my story. I was first diagnosed with ductal carcinoma in situ breast cancer back in November of 2010. I self-examined and found a lump in my breast. I immediately called my doctor and was in the office in the next day. The doctor examined and confirmed what I had found. She then scheduled a mammogram appointment where I went and had my mammogram. And at that time, the picture wasn't very clear, so they ordered an ultrasound. The ultrasound showed a clearer picture, at which point I was scheduled to see a surgeon for a biopsy. They performed the biopsy and confirmed that this, in fact, was cancer. The treatment plan included 6 rounds of chemotherapy as well as surgery. And also, I was diagnosed with the HER2 positive protein. This is a protein that promotes the growth of cancer cells. And for this, I underwent 18 rounds of an intravenous medication. For 9 years, I was thriving and surviving. On August of 2019, I was diagnosed for the second time. I self-examined, found a lump in my breast again, and followed the same steps as before. They advised me that the same cancer had come back. This time around, I had surgery. I had 6 weeks of radiation therapy along with the 18 rounds of the HER2 intravenous medication. I am a living testimony to tell you the importance of self-examination and mammograms. They can save your life because they saved mine. It is very important. If you have not already done so, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is another reminder that it's time to get your appointment scheduled and to get your mammograms done. Self-examine yourself every month. This can save your life. The second time around, I adopted the slogan, same God back then, same God right now. If he did it before, he would do it again. And he, in fact, did it again. I'm a living witness, and I'm here to tell my story. Go out, schedule your appointments, save your life or someone that you love. Thank you for listening. God bless.
That was Barbara's story. It's a story that's played out countless times around the U.S. and the world in general. Now I'd like to circle back to how I started my this spotlight about donating. One of the people that I donate to is Felicia Blackman, one of my best friends and a friend that I've known for years. Here's the session that I had with her earlier this evening. There we go. Okay. So we're here tonight with Miss Felicia Blackman, who has been my friend for many, many, many years and has been through some of my um, life-altering events, I guess you could say, being married and stuff like that.
Mine
How
too.
are, how are you, dear?
I'm good. How are you this evening?
All right. So um, I wanted to reach out. Um, I wanted to do a spotlight that we're doing on our new channel, VLF Nation. And I wanted to do and if I'm looking weird, it's because I got two screens, my camera
Okay,
here, but I'm looking at
that's fine.
okay. So I wanted to do something with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And for years, I know that you have done a breast cancer walk, you and Belinda Knight. Um, but I don't know if I've ever asked you or that you told me or that I forgot is the reason that you do walk. So my question to you is it out the kindness of your heart or you're just a good person or if you have a reason for actually doing the walk?
It may be a combination of both. I do like to give back. But I've also had family members. I've had several friends that have had breast cancer and survived, and some haven't. Some people I know have not survived. So I started walking one because St. Stephen's, that I used to attend, they started a team, and I was like, why not? One, get exercise, and one, walk for a cause that's important, because at any moment I could be that woman that needs the research that comes out of the American Breast Cancer Society. So why not walk? Why not give back and walk for something that at any time I could be on the other end? And I have had my own scares. So yes.
Yes, so that's one of the things that I hear a lot, and Reverend Jackie just said she had her own scare about a week ago.
Okay.
Um, so that leads to a question,
Okay.
and I had a cancer scare many years ago, and because both my mother and father passed of cancer, they say I'm predisposed, so I have to watch it. But what did it feel like when you had that scare? What went through your mind?
So I've had two major ones, and then just recently another one. Um, the very first time, being in my 20s, late 20s, early 30s, they said, we found a spot. We got to do this biopsy. And your mind goes, okay, what's next? But also, I may be not new to the church, but new to my own relationship with God. It's like, okay, God, I'm going to need you to give me the strength to get through it. But to sit on a table for them to do the biopsy, the first one was an easy biopsy. The second one turned out to be not so a easy biopsy, because I end up the plug that they put in me, to make sure they found the spot. If it came back benign, I became allergic to. I'm one of 1,000 that's allergic to that plug. Um, so then you had to go back in, because my breast was I was allergic, so bad allergic. They had to go back in with a stick, a big old pole, and then take this plug out. So not only did I have to go through the biopsy, but thank God I found it was negative. It was what, benign. Then I had to go back and live through them taking this plug out a horrible way. That hurt more than the mammogram. It hurt about as bad, because you're having a mammogram and the pole in you all at the same time.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah.
So, and I won't hold you, but I guess
Okay.
my last question is, and since you mentioned it and it came to my mind when you were talking, um, and knowing that you've had these scares and when you've had these scares and mentioning your walk, where does God come in with you when this happens? Does it, we attended St. Stephen's together. We've heard the stories, and our very own Pastor Gray has had a story where he actually questioned God. So, where did it interrupt your faith walk? Did it make it stronger, or did it make it harder, or where did your faith come in?
It was just for me, one of the first time is just a bump in the road. They all have been just bumps in the road, and they've had to I had to increase my faith by then. That literally I had to depend on him and not worry about it, truly give it to God and not worry about it, because I'm already a worry wart. So it literally had to go, okay, God, you already know what's going to happen. And either it's going to be a testimony, and all of us a testimony. Even if it's benign, it becomes a testimony. Or I'm going to have it and you're going to walk me through it. I'm going to walk out of here in divine health. And then that's still a testimony. So it really, I didn't worry about it. I prayed about it and had to give it over to him, because sometimes during those times I had other things going on in my life. So those were minute. Yes, I thought about it. And like I said, the first time was maybe the hardest mentally, but the second time was physically. But both times I definitely had to give it over to God, and then let him deal with it.
Okay. So again, I want to thank you for coming on tonight.
Certainly.
But I want to say an extra thanks. My mother that passed away in 2016, not because of breast cancer, but she was a 2-time breast cancer survivor.
Yes.
She had a mastectomy, single breast, early on, and she just went through life, and that happened back in the early, I know she was 25 years. Sometime I forget the actual date. But I said my second thanks is because of people like you that actually do the walk. Now, whenever you and Belinda came to me, I always donated. But I guess now that I look at where I am in life and really looking at it on a granular level, I didn't walk. And I guess in my mind, and we just got off a Bible study talking about different things, but I guess in my mind, I thought that was enough, and I'm wondering if everybody thinks that. There's some people to get out there and walk, and they have fun. You guys always look like you had fun, and we on my level, we're always willing to donate, but I'm just maybe caught on the fence because I could have got out there and walked with you guys too.
But maybe that's not your gift. That might, or because it was so personal, maybe that's not where you felt you needed to be. We all have to be in the places God needs us to be. So it's never too late. October 21st. It's Making Strides.
Yeah,
and,
I have to.
And that's 22 years that they've been doing it here. And so I've been doing it for at least 20.
Okay.
In 19, 18, 20. I've missed maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Now, is that the Making Strides as a group, or?
Yes, the Making Strides walk. The American Cancer Society, their walk is called Making Strides, and that's actually October 21st. So Sarah, who's the coordinator for St. Stephen's, of course, she's walking. I think Belinda, I think she did sign up to walk.
Yeah, I did. I saw her donation on Facebook.
Yes, and I need to put mine, because I never put mine.
Right. So let me know.
But I am signed up to walk, because it only takes a couple of hours. We would walk at 9 and we would literally walk into church in our clothes from the walk. Now the walk has been moved to a Saturday. So it's like, hey, you get up, go take a walk. And it's not even as long anymore, because they've moved it down to the Raven Stadium. So where we used to do 3.5 miles,
Mm-hmm.
I think Sarah and I were finishing 30 minutes last year or something. But it's a great cause. It's a great cause, but you have to know if that's what you want to do, because donating may be what you need to do. That may be where your heart is right then, and not walking in crowds or any of that.
Yeah, I'm still a little leery about
Yep.
crowd.
Yep. So, we have to know where we're supposed to be in the towns we need to be there. So,
Okay, so I don't want to break tradition, so make sure you send something to me so I can donate.
yes.
All right, so we're going to end this call. Again, I appreciate you for coming on.
Very welcome.
And I'll let you know when this airs so you can see it.
Okay.
Okay, dear. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Love you, Bella.
Thank you, Fee. Our last guest is a member of the Victorious Living Faith family. Here's her story. This is Miss Leslie Fitzgerald. All right. So I'm here with Miss Leslie Fitzgerald, another member of VLF. And though I've seen Miss Fitzgerald, I haven't had a conversation with her because I'm usually working the soundboard. First of all, how are you tonight, Miss Leslie?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm still here, so I'm blessed.
So, another VLF family, another VLF family member put us in touch with each other because she knew that I was doing a spotlight on breast cancer, and she put me in touch with you, and you graciously agreed to do this. And again, I tell everybody is that my camera is here, but I have double screen. So if you see me looking to the side, that's why I'm looking to the side.
That's fine.
Okay, so my first video is my cousin that told about her detection and treatment before. My second video was a friend that walks for breast cancer every year. So that puts me with you, who is presently going through the situation. So what's your story? What would you like to tell us tonight?
My story is I was taking care of my mother. She had bone cancer. So when she went into the hospital on August the 2nd, I found out that I had breast cancer. So unfortunately, she passed away on the 3rd. So that began my fight with breast cancer. I was getting mammograms for 3 years because my breasts would just hurt for no reason. So for 3 years, I was getting mammograms and they never found anything. And then on 4th of July of 2021, I usually say a prayer, God, thank you for my health. And I happened to touch my breast and I was like, what's going on? So I called my doctor and that I had to go to American Radiology to get a mammogram. And from there, I had to do a biopsy and they did the biopsy and it came back positive.
Okay.
So from there, I had to meet with the oncologist at Johns Hopkins Hospital, Dr. Tao, and the surgeon, and they told me first they said they were just going to remove the lump, just remove it because it was on my breast and it had spread it to my lymph nodes too. And then they said, oh, you got to do chemo. And I was like, nobody ain't said I had to do chemo. But I had 2 of the most strongest chemos. I don't know the names of them, but one chemo I had to do every Monday for 12 weeks. And the strongest one was every 3 weeks. And it was strong because it had me like feeling like my head, like a bobblehead, my head was weaving back and forth. I couldn't eat anything. I had to make myself drink anything. And on top of that, I had to take care my 10-year-old while going through all of this.
Wow, that seems like a lot. But I've heard that worry before. I told folks earlier that my mother was a two-time breast survivor before she passed, and let me pass on my sympathy to you with your mother passing as well.
Thank you.
But I've heard that story before. Um, my cousins, I don't want to pronounce how hers is pronounced, but she was very thorough in hers. That's the type of person that she was. What cancer are you dealing with? Because I believe it's 3 different types, and I might be wrong, and I'm hoping I'm.
I'm gonna try to say it's triple negative breast cancer. My breast cancer does not like hormones, and it's the most aggressive kind.
Okay.
It's because it's has been said to come back after treatment. That's why they go so hard on it. I didn't do radiation. I didn't do radiation. They did offer me radiation, but I did not do radiation because I was already too tired to do radiation every day for 45 minutes. So I turned it down because my body was tired.
Okay. So where are you now in your breast cancer treatments?
Okay, I'm at my last one. I'm doing hormone treatments, and that's supposed to strengthen my blood cells. So my last treatment is this Saturday, October the 14th. So that'll be my last treatment. And then I have to see, they'll follow me for 5 years, and I have to see, I'll either see the oncologist, the surgeon, or Katie, which is the RN nurse that works with me. I'll see one of them every 3 months for the first 2 years. And then they said after 2 years, it'll be every 6 months, but they're watching me for 5 years.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're still here and that there's a way. So, this is a faith-based report.
Yes.
Where's your faith in all of this? This will be the last question, but
where's my faith? Oh my God. Oh my God. My faith is so huge. God has, oh my goodness. He has saved my life twice. I had two within the 2 years, the cancer, and I had another medical emergency. And it's just like God was there at the right time. He put the right people where they needed to be. Even when I was going through my cancer, I would pray. I was like, Lord, I need you to help me. Lord, I need you to take care of me. And he did. He kept me. He kept me. I was able to still clean my house, go to work 3 days a week, and take care of my son. Oh, oh my goodness. I can't tell you how good God has been to me. And I am so grateful. I am so grateful for his grace and mercy.
That is amazing. One thing, and I've said this earlier on in the report, is that I find the ladies that I've talked to, the ladies that I've seen over the years, to be very courageous in what they do. And I find out their faith is extraordinary.
Yes.
I think from my mother to friends and family, I think that I see a strength. I've seen no one take it as a death sentence. I've seen someone, I think when they get it, they say, what's next? And they move on. And I think that faith and general attitude and well-being is definitely a plus when you're going through that. So
Yes, and may I add one more thing?
Of course.
Um, After my surgery, maybe like I'm gonna say a month after that, I had a dream because I believe God speaks to me, to my mind, and to my dreams. So, like maybe a month after I had my surgery, I had a dream. I was laying up against a lady and she touched my face and she said, "Sweetie, you're healed." So, when I had that dream, I said, "God said I'm healed, so I'm healed."
There you go. There,
So, he is my strength. He's everything to me.
he is truly, truly amazing. Um,
Yes.
he's taken me through some things, and I tell everybody, even Pastor Phil, it's not that I hear him, but I see his works. And like you, and I, I see that God puts angels right here on earth. And
Yes.
that don't mean they're here for the entire time. They're here for that role, that season, and then they move on. So I'm a firm believer that they are earthly angels. They don't even know it. I think that
Yes.
they're put there. They sometimes the relationships and the friendships carry on, but sometimes they're just there to make sure that that person is where they need to
You
be,
need to be.
walk, and just to get better and be and always I believe the phrase says it. I think Phil says it. There's no testimony without a test. So
Yes.
we're definitely pleased. So I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate you coming on. Um, we will be starting to talk at VLF now that we have had this conversation. Um, I just think that you're a courageous person. I think that God is speaking to you and he has other things for you.
Yes. Yes. I believe so too.
All right. So you want to say goodbye to your adoring audience?
Bye. Have a blessed day. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye bye.
So we have spoken to three different women, three courageous women, a survivor who has, with God's help, beaten this condition twice, a Samaritan who walks every year with purpose as a celebration and to honor friends and family, past and present, and a warrior who is fighting as we speak. Three women of God fighting in three different ways to make a difference. Two things have resonated throughout this spotlight, and they truly go hand in hand. Self-examination leads to early detection leads to early treatment, and through it all, carry God with you because it definitely makes a difference. This is the VLF Spotlight on Breast Cancer Awareness. Thank you, and be blessed.